Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching The Boys, Season 3, Episode 8.
The Instant White Hot Wild. I'm tired of your man pain. I don't know.
It was fine.
Yeah.
There was a point about 2/3 in where I was like, okay, so I'm just done.
Mm-hmm.
And they pulled it back around. I didn't love the season. I don't think it was terrible. I think it was fine. It for me, it's going to depend on what season 4 and or a season 5 look like.
Yeah.
If this is, in fact, we got a comment that was really good. I'm sorry, I don't remember who said it, but they were like, this is like the Wednesday of the show.
Okay.
If this is in fact that, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Frequently, there's going to be a degradation in quality with shows. Not always, but sometimes. And I have a little bit of hope because there are a lot of plots still open, still up in the air.
There are more plots still open than I wish there were.
But that gives me hope.
Mm.
It does not give you hope. So
I didn't dislike this as much as I disliked this most recent season of The Umbrella Academy. But I am very frustrated with the state of both shows. I really, really thought we were going to come out of this season with Homelander having suffered a single consequence. And I'm sort of furious.
There was a point in Act 1 where I was like, what can he and this show sustain? So I think either this needed to be his third act, Descent into Madness, and we dispatch him.
Yeah.
We take him out or depower him. Or I wish maybe the notion of a family or the idea of somehow, I mean, I know it's really late to redeem a character like that, but if ever a show were going to redeem a character and an actor were going to play that, this was it. The Soldier Boy of it all didn't really factor in for me.
No, and in fact, it made everything more muddled, in my opinion. Not everybody, because like Annie and Huey and Mother's Milk, they were all in the same thing the whole time. But Butcher changed allegiances like 6 times in this episode. And that is extremely frustrating and annoying and sort of boring.
I genuinely did not know how he was going to handle the Black Noir scene. And when he killed Black Noir, I was like, so this. Okay. I think
I don't like that.
No, of all the shows that could find a way to keep a character around, this is it. And that could be that. I also accept that he's gone.
Yeah, but like, why didn't he? It's so senseless to me. Why didn't he just die when Maeve shoved that almond joy in his mouth? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's basically done nothing. And as interesting as that cartoon thing was last week, it amounts to nothing.
He had a strange presence in the show, though. Like there was
it was strange.
Well, I don't know. He had a strange amount of heart that I was sort of like that scene in particular. I think I was like, could you imagine if Homelander decided if he chose family in that scene?
Yeah.
If he like doubled down on his bond with Black Noir versus killing him and then menacing everybody. I don't know. I didn't love that. It didn't feel right. I'm very vocal about loving Starlight.
She's useless.
I don't understand why, because I was correct in the sense that I thought she was going to have a moment. I absolutely love that Huey realized that he can help by helping.
Yeah.
That he doesn't need to take the serum and sacrifice himself in one grand gesture. That if he can help prop her up, that is helping.
Yeah.
And there's no better, more convenient place for an electricity powered hero than, I mean, there's a couple better, but
like
a studio
is great.
Is brilliant. That should have taken him out. And I'm just sort of furious.
She just like flew across the room. She's done that before.
I'm
bored with it.
Yeah.
If you're not going to level up after 3 seasons and have something else to do, I'm super annoyed. Like it doesn't, because they didn't even, neither one of them are dead. Soldier Boy's not even dead. They're sending him back to Russia. He's
right.
fucking iron lung or whatever. They're probably not sending him back to Russia, but
he's on
ice, so he's still around. It's like, I'm not mad about the Jensen Ackles. I'm a little mad about the Jensen Ackles of it all, because I'm also, so now he's just out there to like wake up when this mist starts or stops having efficacy on him, and then he's going to come back and just start calling everyone a pussy because they like their kid.
The first 2 seasons just really subverted and shocked and wowed and thrilled me.
Yeah.
And this felt like everything that the first 2 seasons were subverting.
And avoiding for the most part.
And I just don't, like I said, if they're going somewhere with it, you know, there can be bad seasons of shows, medium seasons of shows, and shows can have weird revivals. I mean, we're in the middle still of season 6 of Riverdale.
Yeah.
And while in a lot of ways it's a shadow of what it was, we're really enjoying it.
This season is like really a lot of fun. We just lost literally everybody. Literally everybody was like, oh, they like Riverdale. Click.
It's already there. Yeah. But my point is that shows can change and evolve, and shows can have
I 100% agree
second and third lives. And sometimes, you know, it's what we said about True Blood, and we're revisiting season 2 of True Blood, where it's like the show stopped being good very early on, but it was fun. Yeah. And as long as we were enjoying ourselves, we'll keep coming back to this party. And that is ultimately where I am, is that this party really frustrated me, but it gave me enough to have hope. And I feel like
I have less hope. And so I guess we can get into it now. The world is bad enough. And so I hate these images of rallies and people bastardizing, you know, the flag, which I already hate. And
I'm gonna cut you off for a minute, but it's sort of like the position SNL found itself in, is how do you lampoon what is already lampoon? Like, you can't parody a parody.
Because in my opinion, it's not lampooning and it's not a parody. It almost feels like they're giving ideas.
Or just wallowing. And it's like,
I don't want to wallow. My favorite show of this year so far is Our Flag Means Death.
Mm-hmm.
And Heartstopper. 2 of the most heartwarming shows I've ever seen. I don't want to wallow in this. It's in my real life. I don't want to watch it in my media.
And some of that is not immediately or explicitly the production's fault. Granted, they are taking cues.
Yeah.
And we're still, as we keep saying, and believe me, we're sick of saying it. I'm sure you're sick of hearing it, but we are still dealing with COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, things were being filmed because several people commented that was a culprit of Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And it's like,
which is why they were in that hotel the whole time.
Uh-huh.
I get it. I also like art imitates life. I get that too. I understand. But
I'm not obligated to like the art.
I'm absolutely not obligated to like the art. And I just wish I wish that instead of looking at the world and being like, I need to word for word put that in my art but also make it worse, I wish more people were like, do you know what? We could use a little more lightness and like humor and just like nice stuff.
It's the Walking Dead comparison that you bowed out of The Walking Dead because it was just bad tragic thing after bad tragic thing. Yeah. And at a certain point people would be like, that's drama. And no,
that's not
tragedy.
Drama. Yeah.
That's Greek tragedy. Drama is a series of unexpected or dramatic events. Yeah. And in order for drama to be effective, there has to be a give and take, a push and a pull. And that's where I'm like, if we're just in the darkest part of the night, then fine.
Sure.
Like, I would love to have, halfway through season 4, Ryan to figure out his dad is psychotic. And
no, he grinned at the end there.
Yeah, I think he can still figure it out.
Maybe.
I think depending on how, who we put him with. My issue with Starlight, I'm mad at the writers. I'm not mad at Starlight.
No.
And so it's like, if they write her better, then maybe stuff can happen. And I love that. Go ahead.
Well, it's just like the same thing.
I love that she's part of the boys now.
Oh, 100%.
I prefer her with the boys.
100% yes to that. I agree with that for sure.
Also, dump Huey and get with MM.
Okay. know, but the comic size differences.
She can handle it.
Maybe. maybe not. No, what I was going to say is that what still frustrates me too is that like even till the literal like battle part of this episode, we still had characters being like, not this way. And I'm like, just fucking murder someone or I'm going to lose it. Literally no one died except for Black Noir. Because for a minute, we think that Maeve died and then she didn't. Soldier Boy just...
I like that though.
I like it better. I didn't want to lose Aaron.
I like the notion.
Name, right? Is it Aaron? Dominique, sorry.
Elegant or something. There was a scene where her accent slipped hard out.
I think she's Irish, just super Irish. Yeah.
It was sort of like when Kate had to say stop on Lost.
Stop! So Canadian.
I do feel like they didn't fully know what to do with Maeve this season, as evidenced by tapping her out for half of it. I like the notion that she's still around, but maybe not. The show's not saddled with like having to find something to do with her. Sure. Or the opening scene of season 4 will be them finding and killing her. So
God, I hope not.
There was that weird scene with Ashley too. I really liked Ashley and I really liked Ashley too.
Yeah.
And then this episode made sure that Ashley 2 was a character again.
Yep.
Where Ashley 1 threw her over. I mean, sure.
But then they were like working together again at the end.
So she knows Maeve's alive. Ashley 2. Because Ashley 1 deleted the footage and Ashley 2's gonna use it to usurp her. And I don't want that. No. I don't want that. And it's like, but that's where I'm like, I still feel like we're in the, like, I feel like the story's not done.
Yeah, I agree that the story's not done. I just have a hard time.
Also, what was the point of Cassandra?
That's gonna come back.
So yeah, so we're just not done.
No.
We're just not done. Okay.
I guess going back to that comment you said that it's the Wednesday of the show. I mean, that's fine. I am also absolutely baffled by A-Train.
We got a brilliant comment that I wanted to read last week. So obviously, we're two whiteys covering the show, and there are times where, ethnicities, sexualities, genders, blah, 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 factor in. And I feel like there's only so much that we're qualified to talk about. Mm-hmm. So I love when we get a comment, I'm like, ooh, that seems good. But it was from Miles H. Hi. And he said, what's epic is that Ashley is turning A-Train's fake Black awareness and specific personal injustice back on him. Mm-hmm. A-Train can run again because he's killed someone again. Ashley as CEO is drowning A-Train in all this thug blaxploitation themes because A-Train could never be honest about helping the Black community and is self-centered. A-Train is back, but his brother is paralyzed because he exposed Blue Hawk to Black people who tried calling Blue Hawk out and paid the price. This whole thing brought A-Train back physically while he lost everything he cared about. I love that. If that is in fact what the show's doing, I need a pinch more.
Yeah, because I love that too.
I think that's amazing.
I'm not sure it was on purpose.
I think it is, but I think we know the show can go there because they did in season 2.
Sure.
And so that's where maybe I'm at the bargaining phase, but I'm hoping that season 4 will pick up some of these batons.
I hope so. I am not as unenthused about a season 4 of this show as I am Umbrella Academy again.
For me, that is an unfair comparison.
But,
I hated season 3 of the Umbrella Academy.
They just were on at the same time, and they're they
are similar,
they're
but
cousins. But I don't know. I feel like it's gonna have to really snag me in episode 1 for me to like want to give a crap about season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's burned a lot of bridges for me at this point.
Well, talked to Janine, which is nice. Yep. I like that. Monique wasn't even in the episode, and I know she's not on the show, but I still just cannot comprehend Todd's place in this. Hopefully it's not long. I wish he was the one that Homelander blew his head up. I don't know.
He just feels like such an interloper in this like lovely Black family. I don't know. I don't like it.
But I love that the moral was because was like, how do I, reconcile who I am in this part of me with my child? And the answer is by quite literally doing that.
Yeah.
But by pretending it's not there isn't doing her any favors, because children are not experienced, but that doesn't mean they're stupid.
Exactly.
And so it's like, I really liked that scene. And the fact that we're still getting those scenes, and the fact that Maeve's girlfriend Elena was here, and presumably they're going to go off and be happy, and we don't have to deal with the fact that she fucked a Butcher. And I just sort of, Butcher's another one. I'm like, do we need him anymore on this show?
No. The fact
let
that
MM and Frenchie, like
100%. The fact that Butcher, Soldier Boy, and Homelander all three made it out of this episode alive is staggering to me.
Also, Soldier Boy felt like a whole lot of nothing. Like Lamplighter kind of felt more earned in season 2.
Oh, that Sean
I feel like they're
Ashmore?
comparable.
Yeah. I just also like, I sort of, it's a little funny to me that they were like, how do we make someone more repugnant than Homelander? And it's like, just make him like virulently sexist and racist and homophobic, but like, don't shine a light on it. So you don't really know.
Casual about it. It was really strange.
I don't know. It was a really weird move, I guess.
Well, even like the homophobia, it was more of like it was more of a Archie Bunker than it was like from a place of hatred. Yeah. And that's something that I've talked about, where it's like there's racism and then there's ignorance.
Yeah.
Or like cultural, like, and I think that they get all lumped together, and I'm like, I mean, they're all bad, but I'm like, but they're different. Like there's socially learned things that can be undone.
Right.
And then there's like black heart, like vile. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way that they were treating Soldier Boy, it was like more of like he was just a man at a time. It was just like some fucking Mel Gibson, like what women want, like, can you believe it, dames? That's the vibe it was giving me.
He doesn't actually say that in that movie, but you're not far off.
Full quote. Can you believe it, dames? Like I said, my biggest issue was I was so wowed, and I loved season 1 and 2 so much that it was frustrating to have to kind of be like, oh, and now's when it turns into a normal show.
Yeah.
Where thing, like, is it part of like a show's lifespan that it just has to get rote and shitty and generic halfway through?
I hope not. I mean,
all evidence.
Terrible. Sounds super terrible.
So, I'm a little bit more optimistic. I want to be optimistic. Yeah. I will absolutely give it a go, a season 4. And ultimately, I didn't hate it. And depending on where we go, I could be better off with this. But this is a solid C for me.
Yeah. I loved seasons 1 and 2. And this it just was a letdown for me. I didn't love where any of the stories ended up, because none of them ended. There's not a ton
there's not a ton with Frenchie and Kimiko, other than it was great. She got a scene, and they're still working on their stuff.
Yeah.
And
he got shot seemingly right in the Achilles tendon.
Yeah. I mean, that's a Tuesday for him.
Fair enough. She got mad at him because he was still doing drugs.
Fair.
He told MM that he needed to get back on the Lexapro, which also fair. I don't know when
I turned into such an MM stan where I'm like,
he's great. He's super great.
Let him give the show to him. Like,
he's a lot of fun.
He was one of the ones that he was an Avatar.
Is he?
Yeah, he was the hot Na'vi with the like dreadlocks in Avatar.
He is like, what's his name? Laz Alonso. He is hot.
So, I mean, I think that's fine. It's certainly the conversation that this episode of this season deserves.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah. I'm ready for a fun, happy show. Let's do a fun, happy show next.
I did like Noir's little critters.
Yeah, they were cute.
And I don't know. I just
feels like a little bit of a waste.